Just turn off the volume.
Well, we're going to read tonight again out of our book, Shelter in the Time of Storm, Psalm 27. It's Reflections by Paul Tripp. And as we studied through Psalm 27 this morning, I thought, try to every day this week do a devotional reading for you that we can post on our YouTube page here. What is your one thing? One thing I've asked from the Lord that I will seek after, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to gaze upon the beauty of the Lord and inquire in his temple. Psalm 27:4. It is an incredible statement, one that I'm not sure I could honestly make. I've made even more powerful when you realize that it was written by a man who was under attack. His one thing isn't safety or vindication or victory. His one thing isn't power, control, or retribution. Not even under personal even under personal duress. The one thing that David wishes for is to be in God's house, taking in the grandeur and glory of the beauty of the Lord. This desire was designed to be the central motivating desire of every person created by God and made in his image. And yet on this side of the garden, it seems a statement that could only ever be made by a deeply devout human being. It does beg the question, what's your one thing? What is the one thing that your heart craves? What is the one thing that you think you would change your life? What is the one thing that you look to for satisfaction, contentment, or peace? What is the one thing that you mourn having to live without? What is the one thing that fills your daydreams and commands your sleepy meditations? What is your one thing? The spiritual reality for many of us is that the one thing is not the Lord. And the danger in this reality is this: your one thing will control your heart, and whatever controls your heart will exercise inescapable influence over your words, choices, and actions. Your one thing will become that which shapes and directs your responses to situations and relationships in your daily life. If the Lord isn't your one thing, the thing that is your one thing will be your functional Lord. Here's what you say to yourself when something is your one thing. Life has meaning and I have worth only if I have blank in my life. The problem is that the one thing catalog is virtually endless. Power. Life has meaning, or I have worth only if I have power and influence over others. Approval, if I am loved and accepted by this person or that person. Comfort, if I have certain kinds of pleasure or experience. Image, if I have a certain look or body image. Control, if I am able to have mastery over a particular area of my life. Dependence, if someone is there to keep me safe. Independence, if I am completely free from the obligation or responsibility to take care of someone. Inclusion, if a particular social or professional group lets me into their inner ring. Achievement, if I am recognized for my accomplishments. Prosperity, if I have a certain level of wealth, finance, nice possessions. Work, if I'm highly productive and get a lot done. Religion, if I'm adhering to my religion's codes and accomplish its activities. Irreligion, if I'm totally independent of organized religion and have a self-made morality. Race or culture, if my race and culture are ascendant and recognized as superior. A person, if this one person is happy to be in my life and happy with me. Family, if my children, parents are happy and happy with me. Helping, if people are dependent on me and need me. Suffering, if I'm hurting or having a problem, only when do I feel noble, worthy of love, or feel free of guilt. You see, in every situation and relationship of your everyday life, there is one thing war being fought on the turf of your heart. You and I are safe only when the Lord is really one thing that commands our hearts and controls our actions. And yet there are many things that compete with him as the one thing that your heart craves. Where are you looking for meaning and worth? And what is the beauty that you wish you had in your life? What is your one thing? And then he has this take a moment reflection questions. He says, look at the one thing catalog. Which of these has tended to hook you? How has that shaped what you do and say? And secondly, he says, where do you see a daily war taking place for the control of your heart? Well, we trust this devotional reading will be helpful for you as you meditate upon the truth in Psalm 27.